All right, everyone, this is a quick video about injuries and rest and when it makes sense, when it doesn't make sense. Because a lot of runners ruin good rest, and sometimes you're resting just because you're just hoping for things to get better. My name's Steve Gonzer, physical therapist with RunSmart, where we help runners get back to running faster. Real quick, if you want some help with your running, whether it's injuries, strength training, training plans, without having to do expensive coaching fees, things like that, check out the link in the post to the RunSmart app. All right, so the big thing that I want to cover today is rest. Obviously, it's in the title. And one of the things I see, like a lot of runners, let me just give you a quick synopsis of what most runners do. They start to realize they get hurt, so they cut their mileage in half. And when that doesn't work, they start spacing their runs out for a longer period of time. And when that doesn't work, they take an arbitrary 10 to 14 days off, and then they try to run again and realize that didn't help. And it's because rest has its place. It's funny because a lot of runners will come to me and I'm like, well, you probably can't run right now. Well, not probably. You can't run right now because you can't even walk without pain, so there's no chance of running. And they get aggravated sometimes when I tell them we need to rest longer because they say they've already tried it, and truthfully they've just messed up trying to rest because they're just too aggressive in things. So the big thing with rest is that it's the time and place for rest is when you can't do your day-to-day activities. So if you're running along, you're I guess to rest me is you have to look at rest as I'm just not running, or rest is complete rest. There's a delineation there. There's some people who have say you have a stress fracture, you need to rest and you need to do nothing. Let's say you have a running injury and all you can't do is run. You're going to rest from running, but there's a lot of other things you can do. Now, where I see a lot of people mess this up is they go from taking 10 to 14 days off, and then they say, okay, I'm going to try to run again. But in the 10 to 14 days, there's a lot of things that don't happen. And what most people do is they take that time off and they go, okay, say it's a sore knee, and they're like, oh, it feels pretty good. They'll try to go and run again. But the only thing that's happened in a short period of time when you rest is the irritation in your injury has gone down. So let's say you have a really sore knee, maybe you have a bone bruise on your knee or you have Achilles tendonitis. The inflammation goes down and you feel good, but the injury itself, the thing that caused the irritation, that caused the pain, which is the damage, is still there. So you take the 10 to 14 days off, you try to run again, the inflammation goes away, but you're not healed. You can hear a Winnie Pooh here. There's everyone who's just here for Winston. Winston, I'm trying to talk. So you'll go out and run, and there's a difference between you're not irritated anymore and you're healed, and that's a big piece. So what I really recommend you guys do, if you ever get to the point where you're okay, I'm going to take 10 to 14 days off, when you start to feel good and you get to the point where oh, I think I can run again, the point there is put a flag in the ground and say, okay, I'm not going to run today. I'm going to go and start exercising. I'm going to start to do things that aren't impact-based. And you're going to start doing squats, lunges, balance and reaches. I'll show you guys a balance and reach. This is my favorite balance and reach. So, you can do things say your knee's sore and you're oh, I think it's ready to start running again. Can you squat without pain? So make sure you're squatting properly, getting your butt back. Can you do a side lunge without pain? Can you do a forward lunge without pain? If you can't do those things after your little rest period, there's no chance that running is going to go well. So you have to be very careful when it comes to that. Balance and reach would be something where you stand and you're balancing and you do a reach. There's a front reach, a side reach, a back and speed skater reach. There's a lot of different things that we use in RunSmart to make that happen. All those are listed inside the app, by the way. So if you want to check those out, just click the link in the post. But you imagine okay, I feel like I can run again, and you do those and it hurts, then you're not ready to run. So I think the big thing I wanted to share with you guys is everyone's going to get hurt at some point if you're watching this. Maybe you're hurt right now, but when you get to the point where you've rested a little bit and you think you're ready to start running, don't make the crucial mistake of just heading out the door and hoping for the best. Try to work in exercise, try to work in things to make sure you're healed, and also just to reload the injury, because again, your irritation goes down with rest, but the cause of the injury itself is still there, and it's not going to heal in that short period of time. So yeah, try those out. Squats, lunges, balance and reaches, those are all great things to test an injury before you head out the door. And this is not a recovery plan. So if you want some help getting back on the roads, you want to get back to running faster, or just help with your training, check out the RunSmart app. You can go in many directions once you're on there, but 2 weeks off and hoping for the best is not a recovery plan. All right, everyone, have a great night. Bye.